She had been told her whole life that she didn't belong, that her dreams were too big. But when they laughed at her, telling her, "You can't fly this," she had no idea that this was just the beginning. They underestimated her, dismissed her potential. But she wasn't about to let them decide her fate. Watch closely, because what happens next will leave you speechless. Can one woman break through the barriers they built for her? Keep watching to find out. Georgina had always been determined to prove herself, but today felt different. A day like any other, early morning, the sun barely rising as she walked into the military base. She was used to the stares, the murmurs, the unspoken judgments that followed her wherever she went. But that was part of the job, part of the uniform she wore. She was ready to face whatever came her way. The world she had entered was one where dreams were often clouded by stereotypes. She had always been told that as a woman of color, there were places she wouldn't be able to go, things she couldn't achieve. But she refused to be defined by those who couldn't see past their biases. Her dream? To become a skilled pilot. A part of her had always longed to fly, to be one with the aircraft, to soar above the clouds and leave behind the noise of judgment. Yet, deep inside, she knew the challenges ahead were bigger than the flight hours, the training, and the certifications. Today, she was facing a moment that would determine if she could make that dream a reality. It was her first day of flying the Apache helicopter, a machine built for the best of the best. The other soldiers had been quick to dismiss her. "You can't fly this," they had sneered. They didn't think she had it in her. To them, this wasn't a woman's world. But that would change today. As she entered the hangar, the sounds of the Apache's engines roared in the background. She looked at the powerful machine that would carry her dream, her hope, to new heights. The other soldiers gathered, eyes fixed on her. Some were intrigued, others skeptical. But in this moment, she knew this was the beginning of something bigger than herself. What they didn't understand was that she wasn't there just to fly the Apache. She was there to prove to herself that nothing, not even the weight of their doubts, could keep her grounded. The laughter didn't stop after that day. In fact, it only got worse as the weeks went by. At every turn, there was a reminder, an offhand comment, a sideways glance, the sense that she wasn't supposed to be there. The constant whispering in the barracks was hard to ignore. Is she really going to fly that thing? I heard they're making her do it just to check a box. Their doubts were louder than the roar of the Apache's engines. But none of that deterred Georgina. She knew the stakes. The Apache helicopter was not just another training tool, it was a symbol of military might and precision. The others had flown it before, but none of them had faced the same obstacles she did. They didn't know what it was like to be underestimated, to feel every moment weighed down by the expectations others had for her. But she wasn't going to let them win. Every day she pushed herself harder. She stayed late, practicing maneuvers, learning the controls, every time stepping up when they thought she would fail. She fought through the whispers and the stares, focusing only on the next step, the next task, the next flight. She had become more than just a soldier. She was proving herself with every turn of the Apache's rotor blades. And yet, despite her persistence, doubt still lingered. The training sessions had become increasingly difficult. Some of her peers had been vocal in their belief that a woman could never fly such an advanced piece of machinery. Their doubt was so thick in the air it was hard to breathe. She had to be perfect. There was no room for error. But she knew that if she was going to make it, she had to push through the fear. Her hands gripped the controls with steady determination. The first time she flew the Apache in front of the others was a pivotal moment. She could feel the eyes on her, watching every move. But that didn't matter anymore. She wasn't there for them. She was there for herself. As she ascended into the sky, there was a sense of freedom. For a few minutes, she wasn't the woman who had been doubted. She wasn't the one fighting against everyone's expectations. She was just a pilot, flying a powerful machine, just like the men who had come before her. In that moment, she felt the rush of proving that she belonged, just as much as anyone else. But the challenge wasn't over. The next flight would be the real test. Would she overcome the pressure, the stares, the disbelief that clung to her? Or would the doubts finally break her? Before we continue with the next part of this powerful story, we need your support to help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. We believe in sharing these impactful stories, but we can't do it without you. If you're enjoying this journey, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button. It means the world to us. Collision. Also, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, and tell us where you're watching from. Has something like this ever happened to you? How did you handle it? We want to hear your experiences and start a conversation that matters. Your voice is important, and sharing your story could inspire others. And don't miss the last part of this story. It has a special twist just for you. Now, let's dive back into the story, and remember, together, we can make a difference. Raising hands. The helicopter's engines roared louder as Georgina guided it higher, slicing through the air with precision. The sky was her domain now, and she was determined to prove that she belonged. But then, something unexpected happened. The controls jolted. A loud beep echoed in the cockpit, signaling a malfunction. Her heart skipped a beat. This was it, the moment of truth. The Apache wavered, its wings momentarily unsure of their path. Georgina's training kicked in, but the pressure was overwhelming. The eyes of the soldiers, the ones who had doubted her, were all fixed on her now. She could feel their judgment even from above the clouds. The weight of their doubts hung in the air like a storm cloud. Her hands tightened on the controls. The fear was real. She had never faced a glitch like this before. But in that split second, something inside her clicked. She wasn't just fighting a machine malfunction. She was fighting to prove that she wasn't defined by their expectations. With calm determination, Georgina adjusted the controls. She could hear her heartbeat in her ears, the machine's engines roaring beneath her, but she didn't falter. She corrected the path. The helicopter leveled out. The storm inside her settled, and the Apache steadied in the sky. In that moment, she realized that this wasn't just about flying the Apache. It was about reclaiming the power that had been taken from her by the biases and limitations others had tried to impose. This wasn't just a flight. This was her triumph. Georgina touched down softly, the wheels of the Apache skimming the ground as the engines slowly died down. The silence that followed was almost deafening. She had done it. Her hands were shaking, but not from fear. She had proven that she was more than capable. The soldiers who had doubted her were now silent. Their faces were a mix of surprise and respect. They had watched as Georgina, the woman they never believed could do it, had flown the Apache with the precision of a seasoned pilot. But this wasn't just about proving them wrong. It was about showing the world that anyone, regardless of their gender or the color of their skin, could rise to the challenge. Georgina had fought against the stereotypes, the whispers, and the discrimination that had plagued her. And now, she had broken through them. Her story didn't just end on the tarmac. It became a symbol of defiance, a reminder that anyone, no matter where they came from or what others thought of them, could achieve greatness. Georgina didn't just fly the Apache, she shattered barriers, and in doing so, she inspired countless others to do the same. This wasn't a victory for just one woman. It was a victory for everyone who had ever been told they couldn't do something because of who they were. And the question now was, how many others would find the courage to fly in their own lives? How many others would break free from the constraints of prejudice and soar to new heights? Thank you for watching Georgina's inspiring journey. We hope this story reminded you that no dream is too big, and no barrier is too high if you're determined enough to push through. If this story touched you, please hit that subscribe button and become part of our growing community. Your support helps us continue bringing these powerful, life-changing stories to you. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. We'd love to hear how you've overcome your own struggles or barriers in the comments below. How has racism impacted you, and what did you do to rise above it? Let's start a conversation and inspire each other to reach greater heights. And remember, this is only the beginning. There are more powerful stories coming your way. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Your support matters. Let's break down the barriers together. Glowing star.